So this is a different type of video um, where I'm not here to promote anything or, talk about my music or the books or whatever. This is a video of exhaustion and disappointment and, you know, frustration and the ability to be honest with that, right? I have been doing this for so long, it's getting to a point where I don't remember a part of my life where I wasn't working to try and make music work for me in my life, right? Since I was a young teenager, like 13, 14, up until now when I'm about to be 30. And I just, finished working on this massive album that's supposed to be a commemoration of 30 years of life and a celebration of it, and including my family in it and having my nephew be in the videos and in the cover art, stuff like that, right? All of that good stuff. But then amidst all of that good stuff, there's a bunch of negative stuff that I feel like I never voice and I never vent, and I just make it okay, and I just keep pushing forward, and I keep trying to figure out a way, because that's what you're supposed to do, and you're a man and you figure it out and all of that stuff, right? But then there's also the part where I know I am just endlessly voicing frustrations and disappointment into a void of a bunch of people that don't care what I have to say, right? And that's not being pessimistic, that's being realistic, because the vast majority of the internet has no idea who I am, nor do they care what I'm talking about. Whatever. To go year after year and invest tens of thousands of dollars from childhood to adulthood and have what you thought were friendships built on a mutual enjoyment in music or art or whatever, and then to see people fall away, because that's life and that's going to happen, and it's no personal feelings to anybody or anything like that, but life happens and people grow and move on and different things happen in their life. But to have to go from having nobody in your corner, and then to build up a circle of people, and then have that circle of people, you all go your separate ways, and it is what it is. And then you start again, and you're just on your own, and then you have a circle of people come in, and then you get close, and you think, okay, this is a really good circle of people. And then again, people spread out, and lives, and people have different responsibilities and priorities, and things start moving for people differently. And then to still be the one in this in the situation of still trying to pursue what we all initially convened for, right? That is a terrible feeling to have. Not like in a way where I'm disappointed in the decisions that they made, because I still speak to them, and I'm just like, I'm happy for the things that they're doing in life. But then it gets back to, okay, well, now it's just again me back to doing a bunch of stuff by myself. I don't really have anybody that I can just be like, hey, I need help doing XYZ, and I can ask, and it happened, right? Some of that is my fault. A lot of that is my fault, and I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that because I have facilitated an environment where I've been the helper. I've been the one that helps people figure out things. I've been the one that supports people in what they want to go do. And I do what I can to help people get to where they're trying to be. Sometimes at my own detriment, right? And that's not a pity party. That's just me being aware of decisions that I'm making that negatively impact me in my pursuit to assist someone else, right? It is what it is. And then I continue to think about it, and it makes me more and more frustrated to look at it and go, man, I'm kind of in the same exact place I was 15 years ago, and I'm like, obviously I know social media numbers and stuff are irrelevant, and they're not indicative of talent and reach and stuff, because people can see stuff and not be subscribed or follow, whatever. But you do it, and you put so much of your life into it, and you put so much of your time into it, and so much of your money into it, and you see no return on any of it. And you continue to do it just off of the love and the passion. And then you have people telling you, oh, you just got to put yourself out there. Oh, have you done this? Oh, have you done this? And in their defense, they don't know me, and they don't know what I've done over the years, because you might have just met me a few months ago. Yes, the answer is yes, I have done that. When people are like, oh, you should do shows. I did shows all of my teenage years into my early 20s. And then I decided, you know what? This has had little impact on anything that I'm doing, right? I stopped doing them because I didn't like the environment of it. I was like, if I'm going to do shows, I want to do shows in the way that I want to do shows, right? Especially in the area that I live. It is what it is. My area is not predominant for the style of music that I create. And again, that's not making excuses. It's just real. It's decisions that I made with consequences that I got to deal with. But then it goes from, oh, doing the shows. Oh, hey, you got to do more music videos. It's like, I don't really like doing music videos. I did them as a teenager, didn't really like doing them. Okay, you know what? People say I need to do more videos. Yeah, let me do more videos. And then I do more videos, and I knock them out, and I hire people, and we get in contact with videographers, and I learn how to shoot videos and get camera, all of that stuff, right? Doing what people tell me will work. And then I do it and it doesn't work. And I do it consistently. It's not like I half do it and then I, just kind of brush it off. It's like, no, I really put my all into this and figuring it out and doing it well and doing it artistically and having it be representative of what I'm trying to be and who I'm trying to be as a person and as an artist. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe you should do this and maybe you should do this. And I do all this stuff and then nothing changes. Okay. And then it resets. And I'm like, okay, maybe stop listening to everybody else. Maybe get back into your prayer. Maybe, just have the conversation you and God and see what direction you get led to. And then I do that. And then I walk the path that I've been led to. And I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I'm like, all right, I'm now in this position to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, like education. I'm an educator, right? So now I'm in this situation of, there are kids that enjoy what I do and support what I do and tell me to keep going because they see it and they're trying to do stuff in their life. And it's good for me to be somebody that they can look to and be motivated by. And I try my best to never let them see me in a situation of discouragement so they can remain motivated. But that's not real. And I do get demotivated a lot and I do get discouraged a lot. And I just have gotten very good at failing forward. It's like I would argue everything that I've ever done musically, artistically, with my books, with anything, I have definitely failed at to some degree. And then I just get back up and I do it again. And I know there's that old saying of, if you do the same thing over and over again, it's insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is insanity. And I've done the same things in different ways. And I've done different things in different ways. And many of them still result in the same feeling of failure, where I don't feel like I have progressed or where things have succeeded or they have, whether that's, well, I will be fair to myself and say it has not been a social, financial, or business related success. I can say they've been personal successes in some degrees, because I'm like, okay, I look at this and I like this and I'm glad that I put this out into the world, and that's that, and I'm okay with that and I'm happy with that. But then there's also the part of me where it's like, that's not real life, right? I can't just continue to be happy with it and it not grow and it not blossom and it not, transform into something successful tangibly, if this is what I'm going to do for a career, for my life. And I've had several times where I've just been like, you know what, that's it. I think it's time to wrap it up and go back this way and do whatever. Um, but then I get pulled out of that because I'm like, well, this is something I feel called to do. I can't just throw it away, because every time I try to throw it away, it's like it boomerangs right back, and I pick it back up, and it's not something I can get rid of easily. My artistic side and me as a regular everyday person are not two individual personalities or personas. It's all just me, and it's like trying to throw away a part of yourself. You really can't do it. And like, my dad's a barber, right? I don't believe there's a day that I will see where he just decides, I don't like cutting hair. You've been cutting hair since you were 13. I started making music at 13. My dad is, what, 54, 55, I think, 54. There's no way he's just going to lay down the clippers and be like, yeah, business isn't going how I want, so I'm going to go over here and do this. No. Like, even when he pivots, right, the pivot is usually still in some range of the thing that he enjoys doing. He enjoyed coaching. He enjoyed cutting hair. When he pivots, it's coaching and cutting hair, or teaching, cutting hair. It's the same thing. So for me, I've taught music, and I've engineered music, and I've made my own music, and I've done all these things in music, because art, specifically music, is where my heart is, right? And I continue to pivot during all these things, and none of them really work in the long run. Obviously, it's an art form. It's not a traditional job path, and I know that, and I understand what I have chosen to follow and pursue. But there comes a point where I'm just like, maybe it is time to hang it up, right? Maybe, like, not because I don't enjoy it, but just because life is lifing, and it's not something, like, it brings me joy in the sense of I enjoy doing it, but it leaves me lonely, and it leaves me dissatisfied in terms of tangible success, because I don't feel I've ever had a tangibly successful album. Not to say I haven't made good music, but just that I don't feel any of them have reached the potential that they could reach. And people will say, oh, this is the easiest time to make music. You got to do this, you got to do this. And you do that, and I do that, and I do that. And it just still doesn't seem to click for me, right? And again, that's not making an excuse. That's just how I feel about the situation. Because I'm going to make this video, and then I'm going to post it, and then I'm going to get right back to prepping for this album to release in September. Because I am proud of it, and I'm proud of everything that I've made around it, and I'm proud of what it represents, and it's stories that I want people to hear. And it's just, it's a monumental part of my discography and of my life that I'm excited to share. But I also know that I can't continue to go through it delusionally and pretend like I'm not disappointed in stuff, and pretend like my feelings don't get hurt with how stuff is received and how things turn out, and looking around and looking left and right and going, man, like, I would love to do more stuff with more people. But last time we tried to do more stuff with more people, peopled, right? And really, most of those people don't even make music anymore. And now it's back to how it was growing up, where it was just me in the bedroom, whether I'm at my parents' house or my house. It's just me a lot of the time, right? Which, irrelevant, I guess. I'm venting at this point because I got to get it out so I can move on. Because if I don't get it out, I'm afraid that I'm going to make a rash decision that is going to impact me much worse down the road. So just talking into nothing is a much better choice than reacting. But yeah, I'm just tired. I'm tired of failing, essentially, right? Whether that be jobs, personal life, music life, whatever. I'm tired of failing. I know failure is a part of life, and you will continue to fail as long as you continue to live. But I am tired of doing it so frequently when it comes to art. And I would enjoy seeing the fruits of my labor not be rotten by the time, it's time to harvest, I guess I would say. But yeah, that's a long video of a bunch of ranting and rambling about nothing that I'm going to put on YouTube, because obviously this video is way too long to put on anything else. But yeah, I needed to get it out so I can move past it. But it is something that has been plaguing my mind for a long time. My mom says that me thinking is dangerous. And I don't disagree. Because when I think, I don't want to talk to anybody, right? I'm just in my head. Nothing's funny. I don't want to have conversations. I don't want to, deal with a bunch of foolishness. It's just, hey, leave me alone. I got to figure this out. And talking to you is not going to help me figure it out, because you're talking about something dumb right now and I'm spiraling. So I needed to get it out so I can move beyond it. And now that it's done, it's back to insanity, essentially, of just doing the same thing, creating and expecting a different result. Not real insanity, because I do different things. I would say this is the most differently I have worked on an album ever. Right? I took an entire year to work on this album. I started working on this album as soon as I turned 29, if not earlier. I already had this album planned out for what it would be for 30, and I worked on it every day. Some nights, some days, not even sleeping, forgetting to eat, which is not good. I don't recommend that, but just being obsessed about it and knowing like, okay, this one's got to work. But then also knowing if it doesn't work, it is what it is. We go back to the drawing board and we do it again. We try something else. I'm just, like I said, I'm tired. I'm not really in the place to continue to hear people tell me to do something different when I've done a bunch of different and I continue to do different, and I do the books and I do the games and I do the music and I do the videos and I do the tick. I'm doing the stuff. It's just not working yet. I even found out today that Facebook, Meta, Instagram had me blocked from being recommended to new people for like a year, because they said that I posted something inappropriate and sexual, and I go to investigate what it is whole time, because I don't have my notifications on for my Facebook accounts. Whole time they blocked me because of my profile picture, and it's me in a Spider-Man hoodie with one of these on, sitting on the porch of my parents' house. And it was inappropriate and sexual and promoting drugs and self-harm. And I'm like, what? But it is what it is. And maybe they'll fix it, and maybe they won't. And maybe they won't. But it is what it is. I'm over it. I'm over it. I had to get it out. I had to vent it. I had to be frustrated and be normal and allow my emotions to be what they are, so I can get back to working and trying to build a better life for myself and the people I care about, doing something I care about. And if anybody watches this and watches the whole thing and sees it, whatever, appreciate it, I guess. Like, thank you for listening to me ramble. And I guess we're back to the regularly scheduled programming of me running 1033 and putting out music. So